Volkswagen's strategic divestment in 2024 transition of European plants. Overview. Volkswagen VW, one of the world's leading automotive manufacturers, is embarking on a significant strategic divestment initiative in 2024 focusing on the transition of 5 European plants as part of a broader $1.8 billion asset liquidation plan. This decision aligns with VW's vision to streamline operations and pivot towards future mobility solutions, particularly in the realms of electric vehicles, EVs, and digital innovations. This report delves into the critical aspects of this strategic move, analyzing the rationale, financial implications, workforce impact, and the broader automotive context. 1. Rationale for divestment. The automotive industry is undergoing a transformative shift. Driven by increasing consumer demand for sustainability and the urgent need to address climate change, VW's management recognizes that the transition towards electrification is not just a trend but a necessity. The decision to divest from certain plants is a strategic response to these market dynamics. By reallocating resources from traditional manufacturing operations to innovative technologies and EV production, VW aims to enhance its competitive edge and adapt to the evolving landscape of the automotive sector. 2. Targeted plants. While specific details regarding the 5 plants have not been universally confirmed, industry analysts suggest that locations in Germany, Spain, and Portugal are likely candidates for transition. These plants have historically focused on conventional vehicle production, making them suitable for restructuring or repurposing. The transition could involve shifting production lines towards electric models or reconfiguring facilities for new technological advancements that support VW's electrification goals. 3. Financial implications. The $1.8 billion asset liquidation plan is a critical component of VW's financial strategy. By divesting from underperforming assets and streamlining operations, VW aims to cut costs while generating necessary funds for reinvestment in high-potential projects. Analysts project that this move will allow VW to stay competitive against emerging players in the EV market such as Tesla and newer entrants that prioritize electric mobility. The financial recovery from this divestment is expected to be closely monitored, with VW assessing the effectiveness of its strategy by the end of 2024. 4. Impact on workforce. The transition of these plants will undoubtedly have significant implications for the workforce. Potential job losses are a critical concern, with thousands of employees potentially affected by the restructuring efforts. VW has expressed its commitment to supporting displaced workers through various measures, including retraining programs aimed at equipping them with skills relevant to the electric vehicle sector. Additionally, potential relocation opportunities may be explored to minimize the impact on employees and their families. 5. Timeline of events. The timeline for this strategic divestment is outlined as follows. 2023, initial discussions and evaluations of plant performance and future viability began, leading to the identification of targeted operations for divestment. Early 2024, VW officially announced the divestment plan, detailing the 5 targeted plants and outlining the rationale behind the decision. Mid-2024, implementation of transition strategies is expected to commence, including asset liquidation and workforce restructuring. End of 2024, VW aims to review the outcomes from the divestment efforts, assessing financial recovery, operational adjustments, and the overall effectiveness of the strategy. 6. Differences between sources. While the overarching narrative of VW's strategic divestment remains consistent across various reports, discrepancies arise concerning the specifics of the plants targeted and the financial projections associated with the liquidation. Some sources emphasize the potential for growth in the EV market, while others focus on the challenges VW may face during this transition. This variance highlights the complexity of the automotive landscape and the differing perspectives on how well-established players like VW can adapt to rapid changes in consumer preferences and regulatory environments. 7. Illustrative use cases. VW's strategic pivot mirrors similar efforts by other automotive manufacturers responding to the pressures of electrification. For instance, Ford's recent restructuring in Europe reflects a commitment to transitioning towards electric mobility. These parallels underscore a broader industry trend where traditional automakers are not only adopting new technologies but also redefining their operational strategies to align with sustainable practices and changing consumer expectations. Conclusion: Volkswagen's strategic divestment and the transition of 5 European plants mark a critical juncture for the company as it navigates the challenges of an evolving automotive landscape. By reallocating resources and focusing on electric mobility, VW aims to secure its position in an increasingly competitive market. The impact of this decision will resonate throughout the organization, affecting workforce dynamics, financial recovery, and operational effectiveness. As the automotive industry continues to adapt to new paradigms, VW's strategic choices will serve as a case study for other manufacturers facing similar challenges in the transition towards a sustainable and electrified future. Volkswagen's strategic divestment involving the transition of 5 European plants along with a $1.8 billion asset liquidation plan presents several counterintuitive insights that may not align with common perceptions of corporate restructuring in the automotive industry. Here are the key counterintuitive elements identified in the content. 1. Divestment as a growth strategy. Typically, divestment is perceived as a sign of weakness or a retreat from markets. However, VW's decision to divest certain plants is actually framed as a proactive growth strategy. By liquidating assets and reallocating resources, VW aims to position itself more effectively in the rapidly evolving electric vehicle (EV) market. This counters the traditional view that divestment indicates a lack of confidence or reduced capability within a company. 2. Focus on workforce support amid job losses. While job losses are often a primary concern during corporate restructuring, VW's commitment to supporting displaced workers through retraining and relocation programs is a counterintuitive approach. Instead of simply cutting costs and leaving employees to fend for themselves, VW's strategy highlights a focus on workforce development, suggesting that companies can pursue aggressive restructuring while also taking care of their employees' future prospects. 3. Liquidation as an investment tool. The notion that liquidation is purely about cutting losses is challenged by VW's plan, which sees the $1.8 billion in liquidated assets as a means to fund future investments in high-potential projects, particularly in electrification. This perspective shifts the narrative from liquidation as a last resort to a strategic maneuver that enables reinvestment in innovation and competitiveness. 4. Reallocation of resources over plant closure. Usually, discussions around plant transitions suggest closure and loss of production capacity. VW's approach, however, involves restructuring or repurposing the identified plants rather than outright closure, indicating a shift towards optimizing existing resources. This approach contradicts the expectation that divestments always lead to diminished operational capabilities. 5. Strategic alignment with industry trends. While the automotive industry is often viewed as resistant to change, VW's divestment strategy aligns with larger industry trends towards sustainability and electrification. This counterintuitive alignment demonstrates that traditional manufacturers can pivot effectively in response to market dynamics rather than being locked into outdated production methods and technologies. 6. Comparison with competitors. The strategic decisions made by VW, while appearing risky, actually reflect a broader industry trend where competitors like Ford are also restructuring to focus on electrification. This suggests that rather than isolating VW, these actions are part of a necessary evolution in the automotive sector, contradicting the belief that a single company's struggles are unique or indicative of its failure. 7. Long-term view over short-term pain. The immediate implications of job losses and operational changes tend to overshadow the long-term vision of sustainability and market relevance. VW's willingness to accept short-term setbacks for long-term gains in the EV market challenges the conventional wisdom that businesses should prioritize immediate stability and profitability over future growth opportunities. In conclusion, Volkswagen's strategic divestment plan is rife with counterintuitive elements that challenge traditional views of corporate restructuring. By framing divestment as a growth strategy emphasizing workforce support and aligning with industry trends, VW is redefining the narrative around corporate transitions in the automotive industry. This approach not only underscores the complexities of modern business decisions but also highlights a potential pathway for traditional manufacturers to thrive in an era increasingly defined by technological disruption and sustainability imperatives. In the report regarding Volkswagen's strategic divestment and the transition of 5 European plants, several important details may be overlooked by many readers despite their significance in understanding the broader implications of VW's decisions. Here's a focused exploration of those overlooked aspects and their importance. 1. Long-term strategic vision versus short-term financial gains. Most analyses of VW's divestment focus on immediate financial implications such as the $1.8 billion asset liquidation plan. However, the deeper significance lies in VW's long-term strategic vision. The decision to transition plants is not merely about cutting costs, it reflects a fundamental shift in VW's business model towards sustainability and electrification. This shift is crucial as it aligns with global trends emphasizing sustainability and reducing carbon footprints. Volkswagen's commitment to transition aligns with increasing regulatory pressures in Europe and worldwide where emissions standards are becoming stricter. By investing in electric vehicle EV technologies and renewable energy solutions, VW is positioning itself for compliance and competitive advantage in the future market landscape. 2. Impact on supply chain dynamics. The transition of these plants could significantly impact VW's supply chain dynamics, which is often overlooked. The realignment of production capabilities may disrupt existing supply chains and require the establishment of new partnerships, particularly with suppliers of EV components, such as batteries and electronic systems. This transition could also create opportunities for local suppliers and businesses in regions surrounding the affected plants, which could stimulate local economies even as some jobs are lost. The significance of this point lies in the potential for Volkswagen to reshape its supply chain model, moving towards more localized production for EV components, which can enhance flexibility and reduce reliance on global supply chains that have been vulnerable to disruptions. 3. Workforce transition and socio-economic impact. While the report mentions the potential job losses in VW's commitment to retraining programs, the broader socio-economic implications are often undervalued. The transition will not only affect the employees at the targeted plants but also the communities where these plants are located. The loss of manufacturing jobs can lead to broader economic challenges in these regions, including reduced consumer spending and increased unemployment rates. Volkswagen's approach to workforce transition will be critical. Successful retraining and relocation efforts can mitigate these effects, but the outcome will depend on the effectiveness of these programs and the availability of new job opportunities in the EV sector. 4. Comparison to competitors and industry trends. The brief mention of Ford's restructuring efforts serves as a comparative analysis but lacks depth. Understanding VW's decision in the context of its competitors is vital. Other automotive manufacturers are also pivoting towards EVs, but the strategies vary significantly. For instance, Tesla's approach focuses on rapid innovation and direct-to-consumer sales, while traditional manufacturers like VW are reconfiguring existing structures. This comparison is significant as it highlights how VW's strategies may be more conservative or gradual compared to more aggressive competitors. Understanding these dynamics can provide insight into how VW can maintain competitive edges, ensuring it does not lose market share to more innovative or agile competitors. 5. The role of digital innovations in the transition. The report briefly touches upon digital innovations but does not delve into how these innovations play a role in VW's transition. As the automotive industry shifts towards connected and autonomous vehicles, the integration of digital technologies will be crucial for enhancing customer experience and operational efficiencies. Digital innovations can streamline production processes, improve supply chain management, and enable better customer engagement through data analytics. The significance of this aspect lies in its potential to differentiate VW in a crowded market, where technology will be a key determinant of success for automotive manufacturers. 6. Regulatory environment and compliance challenges. Another critical angle often overlooked is the regulatory environment surrounding automotive production and emissions. As nations impose stricter emissions standards, VW's decision to divest from traditional manufacturing facilities aligns with the need to comply with these regulations. However, challenges remain. The transition to EV production will require significant investment in new technologies and infrastructure, and VW must navigate various regulatory landscapes across different countries. Understanding these compliance challenges is significant because they can impact timelines, costs, and ultimately the success of VW's strategic pivot. Conclusion: Volkswagen's strategic divestment and the transition of 5 European plants is not just a financial maneuver but a multifaceted strategy with long-term implications. By focusing on aspects such as workforce transition, supply chain dynamics, digital innovations, regulatory compliance, and competitive positioning, stakeholders, including employees, local economies, and investors, can better appreciate the broader impacts of VW's decisions. These dimensions underscore the complexity of the automotive industry's evolution and highlight the importance of strategic foresight in navigating future challenges. As VW embarks on this transition, its ability to effectively manage these various factors will be pivotal in determining its success in the rapidly changing automotive landscape. Key points for in-depth analysis of Volkswagen's strategic divestment. 1. Rationale for divestment. Volkswagen's strategic divestment is rooted in the company's urgency to adapt to rapid changes in the automotive landscape, particularly the shift towards electrification and sustainable mobility. This point invites analysis of how market dynamics, including consumer preferences and regulatory pressures, are driving traditional automakers to rethink their operational strategies. A deeper exploration could involve examining the broader implications for the automotive industry, including competitive pressures from new entrants in the EV space and the necessity for established brands to reprioritize their resource allocation. 2. Financial implications. The $1.8 billion asset liquidation plan is a crucial component of VW's strategy aimed at generating capital to fund future investments, especially in electric vehicle technology. Analyzing the financial implications can reveal insights into VW's cost-cutting measures and investment strategies compared to its competitors. This point can be expanded to include an evaluation of the effectiveness of VW's financial strategies over time, potential return on investment from the reallocation of resources, and the impact on VW's market valuation and competitive edge in the EV sector. 3. Impact on workforce. The transition of 5 European plants is not merely a logistical shift, it also raises significant concerns regarding the workforce. The potential for job losses necessitates an examination of the social implications of corporate restructuring, including the ethical responsibilities of large corporations towards their employees. Discussion points could include VW's commitments to retraining programs, the effectiveness of such initiatives in comparisons to how other automakers have managed workforce transitions during similar strategic pivots. It may also be valuable to consider the broader economic implications for the regions affected by these transitions. 4. Comparative analysis with industry trends. VW's strategic divestment aligns with a broader trend in the automotive industry where manufacturers are increasingly prioritizing electrification and sustainable practices. A comparative analysis of VW's strategy with that of other automakers such as Ford or GM could offer a more nuanced understanding of the industry's trajectory. This point could lead to discussions on how different companies are balancing traditional manufacturing strengths with the need for innovation, the role of government policies in shaping these transitions, and the potential for collaboration or competition in developing EV infrastructure. Conclusion: Volkswagen's strategic divestment marks a significant moment in the company's history and within the automotive industry at large. By analyzing the rationale behind the divestment, its financial implications, the impact on the workforce, and its alignment with broader industry trends, stakeholders can gain a comprehensive understanding of the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for VW and its peers in navigating a rapidly evolving market landscape. 1. Ford's European restructuring. 2020. In 2020, Ford Motor Company announced a significant restructuring plan for its European operations, which included closing several manufacturing plants and reducing its workforce. This move was aimed at addressing the challenges posed by declining demand for traditional combustion engine vehicles and the urgent need to pivot toward electric vehicles (EVs). The company planned to invest heavily in electrification and digital technologies, mirroring Volkswagen's strategy to focus on future mobility solutions. Ford's restructuring was projected to save the company billions of dollars while allowing it to realign its product offerings with changing consumer preferences and stricter emissions regulations. 2. General Motors GM plant closures. 2018. In late 2018, General Motors announced the closure of several North American plants and the elimination of thousands of jobs as part of a broader strategy to cut costs and reallocate resources toward electric and autonomous vehicle development. The decision was met with significant backlash from workers and communities affected by the closures. GM's move reflected a transition in the automotive industry towards sustainable transportation and the need to adapt to the fast-evolving market landscape. The company's plan included investing in electric vehicle technology and enhancing its manufacturing capabilities in response to future mobility trends. 3. BMW's restructuring and electrification strategy. 2021. In 2021, BMW initiated a restructuring plan that involved repositioning its manufacturing operations to focus on electric vehicle production. The automaker announced plans to convert several traditional production facilities into EV manufacturing sites, aiming to produce a significant percentage of its vehicles with electric drivetrains by the mid-2020s. This strategic pivot was part of BMW's broader commitment to sustainability and reducing its carbon footprint. The company's decision to adapt its facilities and workforce echoed the trends seen in Volkswagen's divestment strategy, as both companies recognized the necessity of transitioning towards a more sustainable automotive future. Future outlook: predictions for Volkswagen's strategic divestment and transition to electric mobility. As Volkswagen VW embarks on its strategic divestment involving the transition of 5 European plants and a $1.8 billion asset liquidation plan, several key predictions can be made regarding its future trajectory and the broader implications for the automotive industry. 1. Accelerated electrification. The push towards electrification will intensify. By 2025, VW is expected to have increased its portfolio of electric vehicles (EVs) significantly, aiming to offer a wider range of models to meet diverse consumer preferences. This aligns with regulatory pressures across Europe to reduce carbon emissions, and VW's strategic focus on EVs will likely position it as a leading player in the market. 2. Investment in innovation. The asset liquidation plan will generate capital that VW can reinvest in R&D, particularly in battery technology and autonomous driving features. By 2025, advancements in solid-state batteries and AI-driven mobility solutions could be expected, enhancing vehicle performance, safety, and reducing costs. VW's emphasis on innovation will also likely foster partnerships with tech companies, further driving its transition to a mobility service provider. 3. Restructured workforce dynamics. The impact on the workforce will be profound, with potential job losses in the short term. However, VW's commitment to retraining programs may lead to a more skilled workforce capable of supporting the new EV-focused production lines. By 2025, the company may have successfully transitioned a significant portion of its workforce into roles aligned with new technologies such as software development and EV maintenance. 4. Market positioning against competitors. As VW adapts its operations, it will face fierce competition from both established automakers and new entrants in the EV space. By 2025, the competitive landscape is expected to include a significant number of players, including Tesla, Rivian, and various Asian manufacturers. VW's ability to differentiate itself through brand loyalty, production quality, and innovative features will be crucial for maintaining market share. 5. Sustainability and corporate responsibility. The strategic divestment reflects a broader industry trend towards sustainability. By 2025, VW is likely to enhance its sustainability initiatives, including carbon-neutral manufacturing processes and the use of recyclable materials in vehicle production. This shift will not only align with consumer expectations but also help VW meet increasingly stringent environmental regulations. 6. Consumer sentiment and market demand. As consumer preferences shift towards sustainability, the demand for electric vehicles is expected to rise dramatically. By 2025, it is predicted that a substantial portion of VW sales will come from EVs, driven by incentives, improved infrastructure, and growing awareness about climate change. VW's ability to capture this demand will depend on its marketing strategies and the perceived value of its EV offerings. 7. Global supply chain resilience. In light of recent disruptions, VW will likely take steps to enhance the resilience of its supply chain. By 2025, the company may diversify its supplier base for critical components such as semiconductors and battery materials to mitigate risks associated with geopolitical tensions and global shortages. This strategic move will be crucial for ensuring steady production rates and fulfilling market demand. 8. Technological integration and digital services. By 2025, VW is expected to expand its digital services, offering features like over-the-air updates, connected car services, and mobility-as-a-service platforms. This digital transformation will not only enhance customer experience but also create new revenue streams for the company. 9. Regulatory compliance and adaptation. As governments worldwide tighten regulations concerning emissions and vehicle safety, VW will need to stay ahead of compliance requirements. By 2025, it is anticipated that VW will have established comprehensive strategies to meet these regulations, enhancing its reputation as a responsible automaker. 10. Long-term financial health. While the divestment and restructuring may lead to short-term financial challenges, the long-term outlook is positive. Analysts predict that by 2025, VW's strategic focus on electric mobility and technology will yield improved profit margins and market capitalization as consumer demand for EVs grows and operational efficiencies are realized. In conclusion, Volkswagen's strategic divestment and transition towards electrification is set to reshape its operational landscape significantly. While challenges such as workforce transitions and competitive pressures loom, the company's proactive approach to innovation, sustainability, and market adaptation positions it well for future success in the evolving automotive industry. By 2025, VW may emerge as a formidable player in the electric vehicle market, successfully aligning its operations with the demands of a more sustainable and technologically advanced future.